Matt, seeing as how quickly your pitching situation changed this year with injuries, will that make you less likely to trade away some of that pitching depth?
Yeah, I don't have a strong feel for more likely or less likely. We recognize that we have pitching depth and, more importantly, pitching talent, and we recognize how precious that depth can be. We've seen it disappear quickly over the last couple of years, and so sometimes that depth is fleeting. At the same time, we don't have the luxury of being able to stockpile talent in different spots. We have to spread it across all the different positions and spots that we have on our roster. So that's the challenge. But we have the luxury of knowing that we have that depth and we have those numbers. And it was great to see Matt Moore come back in the last month of the season, show that he's back. It was great to see Drew Smiley come back from his injury and show us that he can be a front of the rotation starter like we expected coming into the season. Those are some really good news that we have to look ahead into the off season and give us a lot of momentum going into the off season.
Matt, kind of following up on that, you got to see the last few weeks what this team looked like with Drew, with Matt, with guys like Mikey Moxwick and Richie Schaefer. Sort of how do you balance like what could have been as opposed to like we still need to make improvements to close the gap with some of these other teams?
Yeah, we try not to dwell on what could have been. We do a little bit. I mean, we're human. And we win one game a month more than we did, and we're having a very different press conference right now. So that shows how close we were, despite the injuries and the roller coaster of the season. There were some really good stories that came out of the last part of the year. You mentioned Richie, you mentioned Mikey. We talked about the pitching staff. It just gives us more optimism going into next year. And as I said, the talent level on this club and in the organization is higher than it was last year, higher than I think it's been in the last decade. We have a top 10 farm system. We have a lot of young players at the major league level who have great upside. And we're going to need some of those upsides to hit for this club to reach the postseason next year and years to come. But that's the good thing about young players. There is that opportunity for them to keep getting better and for them to become even more valuable in the roles that they play.